Yeah, now I've got this crazy idea. Now, I no idea whether this is going to work or not. Okay. And we are now going live on Amazon Live, and I can say hello and welcome to this broadcast. Now, this is not my normal broadcast, has to be said. I normally broadcast lights, camera, action on a Monday and Thursday, and then today would have been country walking. But I had this idea. Now, time will tell whether it's a good idea or a wacky idea. The idea is simple and straightforward. I'm going to take my name off screen because you can now see me. And I'm just going to go over to Amazon to make sure that I'm actually live. And it's just waiting for the screen to change there. So we'll take this step by step. There's no rush. Um, this is this is most definitely going to be interesting. I'm just waiting for Amazon to go live. It says that I'm live on Amazon, so I'm just waiting for the screen to refresh, and then we can get underway. Uh, I went live at dead on 9 a.m. Eastern today for a change because I was doing 2 minutes early. But that made things more complicated than I thought it would. So I actually went live on the hour today, which is why we're waiting at the beginning of the show for things to get sorted. Now, if you're watching me on Facebook, thank you very much. If you're watching on the Facebook page or in the group, welcome to this unique broadcast. And so I'm just waiting for Amazon Live to go live. I'm just going to refresh the page. Okay, I'm going to take it that Amazon Live is live, and I'm going to continue the show. Right. And the first thing I've got to do is take myself off solo. This show is all about songs of the 60s, and I can claim to have actually been there. So Amazon do say that you should talk about things that you know about. Well, I know about songs of the 60s most definitely because I was there enjoying the music. So welcome to the show. And this is songs from the 60s. Now, if you're watching an Amazon Live, and thank you for watching an Amazon Live, brilliant. I know I'm live now. If you're watching an Amazon Live, what you can do is one of two things. You can either get Alexa ready, or you can get Spotify ready to play the songs that we're actually going to illustrate in this short tour of 60s music. And we're going to start off with, well, if you're going to start a tour of 60s music, you would actually start with the Beatles. Now, if you're watching on Facebook, the link to join me on Amazon is up above, and we're starting with the Beatles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the title off, and basically I have some assistance with me. So I'm going to bring in a screen share, hide that, and go screen in screen. Okay, so if you click the Beatles link down in the carousel, this is where it will take you. And I'm just going to shrink myself because I'm a little bit big at the moment. So let me shrink myself by changing theme so you can see more of the page. Now, to me, as soon as you mention the Beatles, you've got a string of hits that they had. They have the most awesome back catalogue of singles. And if we just scroll down the page, and I've got the right page now, then Love Me Do, Please Please Me, From Me to You, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand Now. This particular song has special memories because I just want to send a message on Amazon. Okay, so I sent a message on Amazon. I'm coming back to the studio. This song has particular, I mean, I Want to Hold Your Hand was the first record that I actually bought. And I bought two copies of it, one to give to a friend, a female friend. And the thing about music is it brings back memories. So that takes me back to when I was 11. And you can now, if you do a bit of math, you probably work out how old I am. But the Beatles led the way. I mean, you had R&B, you had rock and roll, and then you had the Beach Boys. Now, the Beach Boys actually influenced the Beatles and vice versa. There was no hard competition between them, but they knew of each other and they played off each other. And some of the songs that they both developed were influenced by the Beach Boys or by the Beatles. And this album, which is a collection of songs from 1962-66, is chock full of songs. Now, if what we can do is I'm going here, if I come back to my studio, is in the carousel, the top artists of the 60s. You need to click the image. Okay, now I read several different lists of the top 50 bands of the 60s, and I put my own version together in the carousel at the bottom of the page on Amazon. And you can actually click on any of them and you can go straight to the track and the album, and you've got a choice. And I'll come back to that in a minute. So do click the image. And the thing I'd like you to do, you don't have to. One of the problems that I have in putting this show together is this: music copyright. It means that if I was to play any of the tracks that I'm talking about, then certainly on Facebook and quite possibly on Amazon Live, this broadcast would just stop. So there is no music in today's broadcast. However, we are in an age where we all have either an Amazon Alexa or Spotify. Now, if I name a tune, then you can actually play it on your Alexa or on your Spotify. And to go along with us, what I brought a little piece of software with us. So I'm going to hide that, bring up the software on the screen, and the screen will change. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to hide the shared page, which I'll come back to in a minute. I'm going to shrink myself. Okay. And I am actually going to play Yesterday by the Beatles now. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. The thing is that the graphic that you can see at the moment, because I'm listening to Yesterday at the moment, you can't hear it, hopefully. If you can hear it, do let me know, because we could be taken off air. We're still on air, so everything's okay. But this is a piece of software called Luminant Music. And basically what it does is it takes the beat within a song and translates it into moving images. So we've got this basically to play along. Okay, so it's not just me on screen, it's also this. And what I can do, if I go over to the software, is I can change from one set of graphics to another. And hopefully in a second, that picture will change. There is a delay, I know. Let me go back. This is a trial and error thing, so bear with me. This is definitely an experimental show on Amazon Live, and what we're looking at is music of the 60s, aided by graphics from 2021. And as I say, this is synchronized to the song Yesterday by the Beatles, which is on the album we just looked at a moment ago. I'm going to be quiet for a moment and just watch the balloons. Right. music has stopped at my end anyway. So if you can, in order to keep in line with what I'm doing, if you could ask your Alexa to play the music, then that would be good. So that's the Beatles. Now let's bring the Beatles back for a moment. Sharing stream, hide, go picture in picture, because this is a trip down memory lane. Because the songs in the Beatles back catalogue, which are available on this CD, Can't Buy Me Love, 8 Days a Week, I'm not going to sing them, I promise. Ticket to Ride, Day Tripper, Nowhere Man, Michelle, which is a classic. Well, they're all classics, but Michelle is classicer. Covered by so many artists, Eleanor Rigby, Paperback Writer, and Ringo's Yellow Submarine. Now, the thing about when you actually click an item in the carousel, you're going to be taken to the page as we have been here, and you've got a choice. Now, I basically was talking with Nick the other week, and he came up with the question, what is a CD? Well, a CD precedes MP3s. Yeah. And I don't know about you. This is an example. This is the 80s Soul Weekender, which I bought in a local charity shop recently. I still like to be able to have the CD and to be able to open the CD up. And there you've got the CD. I'm going to try and get this. You've got the tracks on the back, you've got the sleeve cover, you've got the notes. Some cases you've got the lyrics, and this is physical. And that's basically, it's not changed. I mean, we've still got a situation where, despite the fact that we've got Alexa, and I could ask Alexa to play music, we've got Spotify to play music, we've got Google Music, there are umpteen, as we say in England, umpteen music services where you can actually listen anywhere in the house. Now we've got 4 Alexas throughout the house, and they're interconnected, and we can say play something and they'll all play at the same time. So this is a world away from CDs, but a true story. Vinyl, as we know, is making a comeback. When I was a lad back in the Beatles days, we used to be able to go to the record shop, and you go to the record shop, and the record shop had listening booths, and you would have the top 40. And what we used to do is to actually listen to a couple of records from the top 40 that we'd seen on top of the pops, and we'd listen to a record, and we'd choose one to actually buy. And in those days, there was 6 and 8 pence, I think, which is going back a bit. That's pre-decimalization. So music is a part of our lives, and vinyl is coming back. We've got a new shop here in Devizes. When I say new, 2 years old, and they sell vinyl. They sell CDs. It's not going to go away. It's like talking to Angelica earlier. It's like the Kindle and the paperback book. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer Kindle, or you prefer a book in your hand, a physical book that you can pick up and read? I've got to be honest, I like both. Okay, and I switch between them effortlessly. And I've got a library which I read and reread. And the same is true of music. I've got Spotify, I've got Amazon Music, and I can get Alexa to play anything I like. But I will still take a CD out of the collection, which is downstairs in racks, and I'll put it on the DVD player and just play music. Yeah. So music is a part of our lives. Now, one band that have been a major part of our lives are the Beatles, of course. And the CD I've highlighted in the carousel is a collection of their hits from 62 to 66. And you can either get the CD, you can get the MP3, or you can listen online. Now, this has come to that. If you want to listen online, then there are plans from Amazon Music for an individual plan, family plan, single device, or if you're a student plan. Or if you want clarity in your music, there's Amazon HD. And the one I've got is Amazon Music Unlimited. And that means that I can play music anywhere around the house on any of my Alexas. I can play it on my Samsung television, and it is brilliant, the fact that we can actually now play music anywhere. But it all started, and thank you for watching live on Amazon, it all started with CDs. CDs are the foundation of everything. I mean, we were told, and this is, when CDs came out, we were told that they were indestructible, that you couldn't scratch them. And we discovered, buying CDs, playing them, that yes, you can. They're not perfect, but they are probably the best way to actually listen to music, unless you're a connoisseur of vinyl records, in which case that's the best way. And if you are, vinyl records are making a great comeback. And if we go to the end of the carousel, which is what I'm doing now, there are two items at the end, and I've got 40 items to go through, so bear with me a moment. Okay, there is well, it describes itself as a deck vinyl record player. It is a vinyl record player, record deck, which will plug into your hi-fi system, and then you can go to the local shop and you can actually buy vinyl. Okay, you can buy vinyl on Amazon as well. That's the fourth option. Listen online, get a CD, get the MP3s, or vinyl, where vinyl is available. And there's something about the sound of a vinyl record which can't be equaled. CDs come close, and CDs make up the majority of what's in the carousel. What's in the carousel today is top 50 bands of the 60s, as voted by several different magazines, and I've done my subset of them. So today we're going to feature 2 or 3 artists. If anybody actually watches this, I'll be back next week with some more artists. The thing that we've got to get into, though, is in order for this to work, I've got software. I'm going to show you at the moment, just a moment. If you can use Alexa to play music, or even Spotify, that would be good. But also in the studio, what I've got is, I'm just going to share screen again. So forgive me for a moment as I explain this. I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to show you something new. I'm going to go over here, and hopefully over here, okay, and come back to my screen, and I've got a shared screen. I'm going to hide that for a moment. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to bring this up on screen. I'm going to go picture in picture, and a word of explanation. As you know, I can't play copyrighted music on here. There is no way that I could play copyrighted music and stay live on air. So this is us working together. You listen to the tracks on Alexa, or you play your favorite music on Alexa while watching the show. I mean, all good. But music copyright means that I can't actually play the music. But I can play the music on a website, and that website is called Mixcloud. Now, Mixcloud is a UK networking site. Everything I'm talking about today is music related. Is a UK music site which has been around all the music copyright holders, music publishers, bands, and they have reached an agreement that if you play a Beatles track on Mixcloud, then the Beatles will get royalties, which means that you can be a DJ, and you on Mixcloud. On Mixcloud, you can play any of your current music collection out to the world, okay, on the Mixcloud site. Okay, this is, you don't go anywhere near Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. It's on the Mixcloud site. You can put together your own tracks, and you do that by using something like this. And this is Tractor, and I'm going to spell that out because it's not the normal Tractor. Let's just go over to my agenda over here, which I'm building up as we go along. And I'm going to show it on screen. This is Tractor, which is a DJ system. And the way that it works, now you can't hear anything. If you can hear anything, let me know. But basically what I can do is I can queue up yesterday into A, and I can play yesterday. Now I can put together a playlist, okay? And you're going to see me now playing the track, but you won't hear it. Now I can hear it, but you can't hear it. We can see it. Right, so this is using Tractor, which is there, to play music, which is then interpreted graphically, and you are watching Songs of 60s live on Amazon, just as a reminder. Now, what I'm going to do, because you can't hear anything, I'm listening to music, but if you ask Alexa to play a track, then that would be good. What I'm going to do is talk about another piece of software. Down below me, sorry, over there is Tractor, which is currently playing music. One of the most popular DJing systems around, apart from Tractor, is Serato DJ Pro, which is down in the carousel now. If you want to be a DJ and broadcast live on air, then the Serato DJ can do that for you. You upload, you take your CDs, basically you then take the tracks off the CD onto your hard drive, and then from your hard drive up onto Serato, create your playlists from your music catalog, and then you can, right, I wondered how this was going to work. I'm just going to press stop here. Okay, because you can't hear the music, but I can, and I had that music slightly too loud then. So Serato DJ software, I can actually make a change. Let's make a change. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to key this into my microphone. Okay, so you get an example of what's going on, and I'm going to change the graphics again. Again, this is an experimental show. Anything can happen, and probably will. And we're going to go with butterflies. I'm going to come back, and the butterflies should start flying in a moment. Oh, right, the name of the site where you can play music. Thank you, and thank you for commenting. Wonderful, absolutely brilliant. Okay, the site is mixcloud.com, and in a moment I'll show you the site. Yeah, Mixcloud is a site where for about $12 a month, yeah, you can play your music catalog to your heart's content, create playlists, go live on air. You can do a show a day, you can do 2 shows a day, and it goes live on Mixcloud. There are thousands upon tens of thousands of listeners on Mixcloud, and they become followers, and they listen to your music, they chat to you during the live show. The live show is a mixture of you on screen with your DJ setup, playing music that you love for other people, and just passing the time. And it is basically, if you want to listen to any music, Mixcloud is the place to go. In actual fact, shall we go there now so I can show you what it looks like? Because we can do this. I'm going over to mixcloud.com. Okay, and then back to me. Okay, so mixcloud.com, and I just want to say that I am live DJing on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern on Mixcloud, and you can hear the music. Yeah, Can't do it on Amazon Live, but on Mixcloud, you'll be able to hear the music. You'll be able to hear the tracks I'm playing on Tractor. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide that. Okay, may bring that up later. I'm going to hide this because you know you're listening to songs of the 60s now. And I'm going to do, no, that's not what I wanted to do. This is live video. Things will go wrong. Hopefully that will come back in a minute and it's back to me. Okay, what I want to do is I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to head off. I'm going to put it that way around. We're going to head off to sharing the Mixcloud site, and I'll give you a quick tour of the Mixcloud site. So screen share, and I'm going to go to the Mixcloud Chrome tab. Okay, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of Mixcloud. Now, although this is a UK site, I can close that tab. This is a UK site. It obviously has a global reach, and I'm going to bring that shared screen up in a second. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to hide. I'm going to stop Luminant, and if it'll let me. Okay, so we're going to stop Luminant, so that's going to stop, and I'm going to hide Luminant. Okay, so that's going to go. My card is going to go, and I'm going to go picture in picture. Okay, so this is the Mixcloud website, and it is, if I scroll down and remove the Mixcloud off so you can see a bit more. Okay, this is going over to the page. This is the Mixcloud website, and it's telling me I've got a draft. When you go live on Mixcloud, you go live on video. Okay, and that means that you can record the video yourself, but afterwards the soundtrack that you created stays on Mixcloud. So the MP3 is on Mixcloud. In fact, if we go to my profile on Mixcloud, which might take a second or two, your profile, then here we are. This is me, and it's loading up. And I have a show on Mixcloud, which is Memory Lane with Friends. I'm going to get rid of that for the moment because it's annoying me. So this is mine, okay, and I have got 22 shows on here, and I've got 362 followers, and these are the shows that I've recorded. Okay, now all of these, and I can't play any of them because they've got licensed music on, but essentially you sign up for a Mixcloud account, and if you're a pro account, as in pro there, then you can go live. The other thing is that in addition to going live yourself, you can actually listen to other people whilst they're live, and you get from Mixcloud, your broadcasts will get publicized. So your live streams, and these are the live streams that are on Mixcloud at the moment, and I can keep going on and on and on. These are the hundreds, if not thousands, of broadcasts which are live on Mixcloud. And it is just a great place to play. The people who come to listen are music lovers. Okay, and you could have a show about the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You could have a rock show, you could have a reggae show, you can have a classical show. You decide the content of your music on Mixcloud, and you go live when you want. You can go live from OBS, you can go live from BeLive, which is the way I do it, and just enjoy yourself. And people go live and they broadcast for 2 or 3 hours at a time. There are some stations which broadcast 24/7 using Mixcloud, because you've got the mix of video and music, and the fact is the music is licensed. If I play Def Leppard, or I play Status Quo, or I play the Kinks, then they will get royalties. Simple as that. And it's a great way to actually support artists that you love, because you're going live and they make income, and you could get your show branded or sponsored. Yeah. So the site is Mixcloud, and I've been there for about 3 months. I thoroughly enjoy going live. I do a show, as I said, just to okay, and I am live. I want to remember that one. I am live DJing on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern on Mixcloud, and you can actually hear the music. As I explained earlier, I cannot play any music in this broadcast, but we can talk about music. So if you've got any questions at all about music, then please do ask. Okay. Now, this is an experimental show, and we'll just have to see what happens. But thank you very much for commenting, and thank you for watching live. So I'm going to hide that because we've done that, so I can stop sharing and it will come back to me automatically. Okay, so that's Mixcloud, mixcloud.com. Try it, to listen to other groups, other DJs, and the software that you can use to broadcast on Mixcloud is the Serato DJ Pro, which is in the carousel. Now, the next item in the carousel, going over, obviously, I've got to make mention of this. You can play music if you use Amazon Music. Now, as I explained a moment ago, I've got unlimited, and I totally have music throughout the house. But I've also got my CD collection, which is very important. And to listen to it, you need an Echo Dot. Okay, now, as I say, we've got 4 Echoes throughout the house, and that means we can play, because they're linked, I can play music from Amazon on any of them. I just need to say, I don't have one in the office, so I can just say, Alexa, play Yesterday by the Beatles, job done. But I do like to sit down with CDs. So Echo is basically the way to go if you want, or you could go the Google route, but I'm sort of solidly with the Echo. Okay, right, I'm just going to bring something up on screen for a moment, if I can get there. Just a minute. Don't worry, this is live video. Things don't always go according to plan. But when I'm listening to music, and there we are, I'm going to bring this up on screen. When I'm listening to music, I use the Aftershocks earbuds. And just to show you, those are my Aftershocks earbuds. And they go like so. They're bone conducting earbuds, and they're great quality. They don't go in the ear, and I've lost so many. Right, I could waffle, I could blab for Britain. What I'm going to do is show you a short infomercial that I made. So let's put that full screen. Let's switch my microphone off. Go over their open ear, they go over the ear, and that means that once you're wearing them, you can hear what's going on. If you've got somebody to the side of you, behind you, you can actually hear what's going on. You can hear the traffic, you can hear all the noises around you, but you can concentrate on the music or the podcast that you're actually playing. Now, they last 6 hours on a 1.5 hour battery charge. You can make and receive phone calls. They are practical. They're coated, so they are rainproof and sweatproof. I use them daily, and they're just good sound, and quite probably the best headphones that I've actually tried, because I've tried many over the years, wired. These are Bluetooth, but wired, unwired, and these are the best that I've actually found because they are so simple, easily rechargeable. They pair on Bluetooth, simple and straightforward. Making phone calls is straightforward. You can voice dial. Receiving calls you can do with one button. So if you're looking for a pair of headphones and you do go out and about and you go walking, jogging, running or cycling, then these are the headphones that you should actually consider because they are so well crafted and practical and good quality. Thank you for listening. I'm back now. Okay. Ha! That caught me out. Right. Okay. So aftershocks, I do heartily recommend. I've not had any problems with them at all. They're easy to recharge and charge, as he said, lasts for up to 6 hours. Okay. And the beautiful thing about them is if you wear them and you're out walking, running, jogging, or cycling, then you can still hear the traffic around you. You can hear the person next to you. Okay, whilst you're listening to your favorite music or podcast. Okay, so that's the earbuds. What I want to know is just a quick cook's tour of what's down in the carousel, and then we'll pick one or two out to actually take a closer look at. Now, the Beatles anthology has got, I mean, it is quite simply the best of the Beatles because you've got periods 62, 66, 66 to 69. And I prefer the 6266. But I also love Down in the Carousel, Sergeant Pepper's classic album. I mean, the artwork alone that went into creating that cover. I mean, that's an iconic cover. I mean, this is why you actually want a physical CD because obviously on Sergeant Pepper you have that graphic on it. Okay, now in the UK, you're either in the 60s, you're either Beatles or a Stones fan. So let's go over to the page and the page will load up hopefully in a second. And I'm going to go and I'm going to click on Hot Rocks. Okay, because Hot Rocks is one of my favorite albums. This is when we used to have parties, two types of parties we had in the 60s. And the music parties. The first one was the Beatles and the Stones, where they would play the Beatles and the Stones all night, and much alcohol may have been consumed. That's what I'm saying. But in addition to that, we also had soul nights. Now you've got Aretha is down in the carousel. Aretha Franklin, the goddess of, well, just the goddess really. There's so much good music that we can listen to. And as I say, the thing about CD is you've actually got physical proof that you've got it. And you never lose a CD, would you? Where are your MP3s? I got to say that I keep my MP3s on my hard drive. They're on a backup hard drive and they're on Google Drive. That's where my music collection is. It's in 3 different places. Okay. And of course, it's on Tractor as well. Or it could be on the DJ software that's in the carousel. But what I'm going to do now is going to do a screen share. And we're talking about music from the 60s. For copyright reasons, I cannot play the music. But, and I'm going to come back to the studio when I find it. You can play the music. You can play the music. And you just need to say, Alexa, play Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. And I can do the same at this end. And we'll get the graphics going as well. So we'll do that in a moment. We'll do Purple Haze in a moment. Just a reminder, the website where you can be your own DJ is Mixcloud. And the album that we're looking at now, that's an old word, isn't it? I'm going to take Mixcloud off. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm going to bring this up on screen. And we're taking a trip down memory lane as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to come back. You know about the Aftershocks headphones, which are down in the carousel. So I'm going to hide that. And I'm going to go picture in picture on this. This is a classic album of the 60s. If you have the idea of having a collection of 60s albums, this should be in there. This is the Rolling Stones from 1964 to 71. And you can get it streaming on Unlimited, which is what I have. You can download the MP3s straight away if you buy now. You can get the audio CD and physical copy. You can get vinyl, or you can get, now I didn't appreciate people still listen to music on audio cassette. There's coming back to me. Talking of cassettes, does anybody remember the Sony Walkman? Yeah, from Japan. The first, you put your cassette tape in, yeah, and then the Sony CD player. All part of our history. And now, as I said earlier, vinyl is making a comeback. I've just discovered, just because of this page, that not only is vinyl making a comeback, and we're seeing vinyl record shops spring up in our towns and cities, but cassettes are making a comeback too. I've got to look at that further, because I didn't realize that cassettes were a thing. Okay, so I can close that tab because we've been to Mixcloud. I can come back to the album. Now, this is my favorite Stones album, and I only need to read the tracks to you. I mean, if I read a track to you, you've got a tune going around in your mind. Time on My Side, Heart of Stone, Satisfaction, Get Off My Cloud, Mother's Little Helper, 19th Nervous Breakdown, Paint It Black Under My Thumb, Ruby Tuesday. The thing about music is that these are songs from the 60s and early 70s, and they're still played on the radio today. These songs are timeless. I'm not going to do the thing about you can actually understand the lyrics thing, but these are timeless classic songs which should be in anybody's collection. If you've got Amazon Unlimited, then they're already in your collection. If they're not, then do think about getting the CD. I mean, you can get a CD player these days for $30, or if you've already got a hi-fi system, make use of it. Use that CD player again. Just wipe the dust off it and stick in Hot Rocks by the Stones and just chill. Well, not chill, just get enthused by it. I mean, that's the thing about music. The thing I love about music is that music changes our mood. Okay. If we want to be in a happy mood, then we can play reggae. If we want to be in a calm mood, we can play classical. If we want to be upbeat, then we can play rock. Okay. And in this case, rock from the 60s. This is great music for getting you into a good mood. That's the power of music. And that's why it works. That's why we enjoy it so much. I mean, we can watch on TV, if we've got Amazon Prime or Netflix, we can watch the same video 2 or 3 times. We can read the same book 2 or 3 times. We keep going back to Kill a Mockingbird, yeah, or Pride and Prejudice, depends what your choice is. But music, we've got radio stations blasting out music to us 24/7. We've got our own music collections. Music is part of our lives. If you play a musical track, it brings back memories. If I play, I'm going to go back, if I play Something in the Air by Jethro Tull, then that takes me back to holidays with friends, young friends in the UK. Every piece of music you listen to, sometimes you can just pin it down. It can bring back a certain memory. Music is part of our memory. Music is part of our story. We've played music. I mean, I've got a true story here. Okay, we'll go back to Stones in a minute. I live in England, if you've not guessed by the accent, and please unmute if you can't hear me. I live in England, and every year, my wife and I and our 2 sons used to go in the car and travel from Burnley, which is north of Manchester, down to Bude in Cornwall, which is about a 200-mile drive. We went in a Citroen, the one with the suspension, brilliant car. And we're staying in Torquay this time, and Torquay has got country lanes, and it's beautiful, glorious July weather. And you're driving by the sea. You've got the countryside on one side, you've got the seaside on the other. Okay, and playing music. You got the roof down. You're playing music, and we're going along. And we were playing reggae because Dorian and I love reggae music. And my two sons now have in their CD MP3 collection music that we used to play in the car in Cornwall. In other words, that music takes them back to their childhood. Yeah. So they've got reggae, they've got rock, and it's all dates from the 60s and 70s, and it's what mum and dad used to play. So music is handed down. Yeah. Your children will listen to the music you play, and it will influence their choices. Yeah. Music is important, is all I'm saying. Okay, let's go back to the screen share again. I'm going to take that off and going to go picture in picture. So this is the Rolling Stones Hot Rocks. It's down in the carousel at the moment, and if I can find it, I'll put it somewhere. Okay, I put it somewhere. Thank you for watching me live on Amazon, and thank you for the hearts as well. All brilliant. But this is an amazing album. I mean, that was just the first set. Then you go on to the later music: Jumping Jack Flash, Street Fighting Man, Sympathy for the Devil, Honky Tonk Woman, Give Me Shelter, Midnight Rambler, You Can't Always Get What You Want, Ain't That the Truth, Brown Sugar, and Wild Horses. This is a collection of 21 golden tracks by the Rolling Stones. And just as a note, the Rolling Stones are actually a shout out, well, just in memory of Charlie Watts, the drummer of the Stones, who left us last week. He was quite simply one of the world's best drummers, and it's integral part of the Rolling Stones. And you know, you feel that he was part of your life for so long, since the 60s, since the Stones became big in the UK and the USA, around the world. He was a superb drummer. He wasn't going to go on tour with the Stones again. He'd had enough of touring. But I do know the Rolling Stones are touring the States this in a couple of months, I think. So not only can you actually listen to the CD, you can still go and see the Stones live. And the comments come in, which I'm going to take. I will be back, but very interesting. My father and I love the Rolling Stones, and thank you for joining me. And brilliant. Thank you. And thank you for being part of my broadcast. And thank you for joining us. This is the joy of Amazon Live, that it brings people together. I'm so grateful for the comments. I'm so grateful for you actually watching today. Okay, I'm going to come back to me, and we're going to leave the Stones behind, because when I came up with this idea for the show, which was late last week, I put the show card together and everything, and I thought I'll not schedule it because I don't know whether this is going to work or not. I'm now happy, thanks to you watching live on Amazon Live and Facebook. This show will be back next week, different set of CDs. So let's go through the CDs. Hot Rocks, and then one of the best groups of the 60s is the Supremes. And the Supremes music today is just lyrical and wonderful. And Diana Ross is again a goddess of music, and the quality of her music is so brilliant. Then Pure 60s, the #1 album. And I'm just going to go along, and we'll take a look at one more album. You can choose if you want, but I'm going to go with, I'm going through this. I haven't even got to the Who yet. Who are down in the carousel, and they're followed by the Birds. Okay, so let's finish this. He said, if I go over to Amazon, I close that, I open this, and I click the Birds. Okay, we're going to finish off with the birds, and hopefully in a second, if I click the birds, should come up and I should get their greatest hits in a second. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen back into the studio. I'm going to share my screen, and this time I'm going to share Chrome tab, and I'm going to share the birds. Okay, so back to the studio. Okay, this is the most efficient way of doing it. If I did it any other way, then I'd have complaints from my computer about memory. This way I don't. Okay, so I'm going to turn off me solo, bring up the album on screen. Birds, most definitely one of the top 50 bands of the 60s, and amongst my favorites. And this is on the album The Greatest Hits. And just like the Beatles and the Stones have got a back catalogue, then the Birds have got a back catalogue too. And I'm hoping, as I scroll down here, that we'll have a track list. Oh, do we have a track list? Okay, on the other albums, we had a track list. I must check these things out, but I can only recommend this by the Birds. You will recognize it straight away. You can get it on Streaming Unlimited, you can get an MP3, you can get an audio CD, vinyl, or audio cassette again. Cassettes again. A cassette's coming back in the States because we've not seen it in the UKs yet. But this album you should have in your collection if you're into 60s music. It is quite simply, well, I was going to use a Tina Turner phrase there. Come back to me. It is quite simply the best. Yeah. And I'm going to hide that. Okay. So we'll hide that, which brings it back to me. Okay. And just a review. I'm going to go back to up here. This is Song of 60s. Thank you. And because of copyright reasons, I cannot play music live. Okay. But we can relive all the CDs that are down in the carousel, top 50 bands of 1960s. You can go through the carousel and click on the ones that you like. And if you click on the image, it will take you to the web page we've been using. We've been to the Beatles web page, we've been to Rolling Stones, we've been to the Birds web page. The prices are there. The prices are the best prices that you can get on those items today. I'm not seeing any discounts on the CDs. If I had, I would let you know. And the other thing is that I'm going to work on this for next week, but I can play the music in my studio. I can play the music, and let's bring this back up. Okay. And if I start this again, start. Okay. I can play the music. I'm just setting things up. Just give me a second. Every artist needs to set up his stage. Just give me a sec. Okay. I'm happy with that. The system next to me is actually interpreting my voice at the moment. So as I speak, the patterns are coming from my voice. The major use of this is to actually play music, and it interprets the music, and it's just an amazing piece of software. Okay, so we've had the Birds, and I just want to highlight a couple of others. I couldn't, if you've seen the film Woodstock and you've seen Jimi Hendrix and you've seen the shows that Jimi Hendrix did, Top of the Pops, Old Grey Whistle Test in the UK, this was a guitarist par excellence. There aren't words to describe the quality of his guitar playing. He was the king of the guitar. and the CD being highlighted at the moment has all of his bestest music. And I've got so many good artists in here. It's hard to know. Oh, right. Okay. The next album in the carousel, which I'm just going to highlight, is by Creedence Clearwater Revival, one of my favorite bands ever. And this is their greatest hits. It's a rock solid. Green River and other hits are all included on there. And I couldn't talk about the 60s unless I included Simon and Garfunkel. So Bridge Over Troubled Water and Simon and Garfunkel, one of the top 50 bands in the 1960s. And the thing I love is that I can go downstairs now, I will after this, and just say, Alexa, play Simon and Garfunkel, and I can just chill for half an hour listening to some of the best music that has ever been produced. And 60s was the concert in Central Park. I've watched that video several times. It is just absolutely the best. I mean, we're lucky that we've got so many songs that we can actually look back on. And of course, again, one of my favorite rock bands is Cream, and they're highlighting the carousel at the moment. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take that off here. I've got to move that cursor for a moment. I'm going to go full screen. Okay, now I can stay here. Okay, I'll go picture in picture. Okay, so I'm going to go picture in picture. Okay, I'm going to sort out Luminant. I'm going to give a better set of graphics. Okay, let's go with that one. I'm going to shrink myself because the graphics should come up in a minute. I'm going to change theme. Go back to here. No, wrong one. Go back to here. So I'm shrunk. Okay. When I enjoy being a DJ on Mixcloud on Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern. All the music that we've talked about today, I can actually play live on air, appear on video with music that you can actually hear. I've enjoyed talking about the music of the 60s today and hope that you have too. I think what I'm going to do is this. Next week, at this time, at 9 a.m. Eastern, on a Wednesday, I will be back with music from the 70s, and we'll do a similar sort of thing, and then we'll do the 80s and the 90s. I lost track of music after that. So on a Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern is the music show. You can't hear music, but we can talk about it. I thank you for joining. I thank you for your questions, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'm live tomorrow again, 9 a.m. Eastern. Different topic though. It will be about live video, and my co-host tomorrow is Marco Novo. So if you want to see Marco from Portugal and myself, tune in at 9 o'clock tomorrow, same channel, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much, whether you've been watching on Amazon Live or on Facebook. I hope you enjoyed the last 60 minutes. I'll see you again next week. Bye from England.